I was in San Francisco yesterday and I tripped and fell right on my face. Had this, it almost felt like my left side had been battered in. And, and then I had to take the train back to Stanford. On the way, there were many persons who were very considerate. Everybody kept asking me, "Are you okay? Is something wrong? Did something happen to you?" And I was politely replying to them saying it's fine. But what struck me most was the fact that I was actually ashamed of the way my face looked. It was not my fault that I tripped and fell. It was not my fault that I landed on my face. And it was not my fault that it looked so battered. It was such an inane reason for my face to look the way it did, and I was ashamed. Here I am, somebody who is considered very confident and sure of herself, feeling that way. And that was an eye-opener for me to understand how women who are possibly victims of violence would feel. Why would they not step out and speak up when they have been subjected to such violence? Is it not possibly a reason that they feel ashamed? This is a concept of body shaming which is adapted invariably in every crime against women across the world and as a fabulous means of silencing us. This lesson, when we take it online, just gets aggravated that much more. You have a situation where women are subjected to body shaming, not just through the manner in which they are portrayed, not just through uploading of offenses against women online with absolutely no fear of consequences. I am speaking about instances of gang rapes not just being uploaded online, but actually being directed by the perpetrators to ensure that their faces are shown well. The very same person is uploading this online, and yet he has no fear. Where is the level of depravity that we are seeing when such kind of things are being uploaded? And when pictures of children, which are probably shared by parents in their innocence, are being abused on child pornographic sites. Now, this was the situation in which I kind of like literally tripped into a case before the Supreme Court. The case has been going on from 2015, and I was appointed as amicus curiae in 2017 in the matter. My proposal was to use artificial intelligence as a means to stop at the stage of upload instances of this kind of imagery reaching the public. The way I looked at it was, even if such content is online for 1 second, forget about 36 hours or longer, the victim is being victimized again. They are being subjected to abuse, rape, and violation again and again and again. In this journey, which I took through my presentation before the court and also before a government committee that was appointed to evaluate this solution, one niggling doubt, however, kept going through my head: the concept of liberty and democracy. Do we really believe that liberty means an unfettered, unstoppable use of our rights? Do we really believe that we have the right to do anything? Of course, the perpetrators believed that, and they thought they could get away with it also, which is why they are loading it online. But do we really believe that democracy also means, and I'm speaking from the perspective of the Indian democracy here, we have liberty enshrined in our preamble. We have the freedoms enshrined as a fundamental right which is guaranteed under the Constitution, which is at a higher level from all other rights that still form part of our Constitution. When we have these freedoms and liberties, it cannot mean an unfettered right to harm others. It cannot be that, there is a Declaration of Independence for Cyberspace, for instance, by Barlow. He says that you governments of the flesh keep away from the cyberspace of the mind. It may be fine for us to say that, but every single individual is anchored to the place where they stay, where they live, where they work from, and are subjected to the laws of that land. So when I was going through this conflict in my mind, and why a conflict? Because up to this matter, I have been one of the strongest proponents of liberty. One could even call me a strong libertarian. I believe that our hard-fought right, and I should thank my cohort for this. When I asked everybody, what is the one freedom you would want to protect or cherish? It was not about property, it was not materialistic. It was about free speech and expression. And that was what I believe too, that we have to protect our right of free speech and expression. That defines us. So when I started representing in this matter, and I'm actually espousing a cause which can be abused to scuttle that same free speech and expression. An artificial intelligence tool which may be used to filter abusive content can just as well be used to filter out strong protests, strong articles of speech which should reach the public, important content which is intended to shape the future, right? So this was the reason why I was conflicted in my mind. But when I thought about the construct of liberty and democracy and understood that liberty does not mean that I can do anything I want, liberty does not mean anarchy, liberty does not mean that you're outside the construct of law. It merely means that you have been given absolute rights which you are supposed to use responsibly. So my message to the world, to the social media sites, to technology companies out there is, please invest in responsible technology. Please be the proponents of liberty, please uphold it, but do so responsibly. Make sure that victims of crimes are not further victimized on your platforms. Let not your platforms be the cause for further harm to victims. Thank you.